Let me grab the link so I can update the Facebook group. So you get to look at the side of my head for just a moment. And the link, copy, throw it into Facebook. And there, it's in Facebook now. And I'm gonna open this up. Hello, Miss Lisa. Almost ready to turn around and face the camera. All right, here we go. It's always a little challenging. I need to figure out how to do the scheduling properly so that I can do all that work before I actually go live. But last time I tried to do the scheduling, it didn't work out so well and I had to restart and I just haven't gotten back to it. So we'll get there. 2024 will be the year for that, I guess. Um, all right, it is Wednesday and tonight I have only a few things on show and tell, a couple of announcements, and then we're going to make some cards. And I have a swap coming up that I have to do for happy birthday. So I figured why not do it together? I've done some prep work, so you don't have to watch me cut everything out because nobody wants to watch that. So let me go through my announcements. March 15 through 17, uh, there's a group of us that are putting together a crop in Billerica, Mass. For those of you that are local, and also there'll be a virtual component for that as well. If you are interested in the details, please let me know. We're trying to make sure that we know who's coming so that we can make sure that this event is a go. It was a little bit of last minute. We've been looking at venues since November, trying to find one that we could use that would have dates in the time frame that we're looking, so on and so forth. So it's rather last minute, but you know, it's learning experience, I guess. We've used the same hotel for many years. I think it's close to 20 years, and we decided we wanted to change. So that just took a little bit longer to do than we thought, but we got it, and we're looking forward to it. We hope that we'll have enough people to hold the event on such short notice. So let me know if you would like some details on that. Um, in the same vein, in November, we actually have our hotel picked out and all booked and everything to go. So save the date if you are local in Nashua, New Hampshire. We will be having a weekend crop from November 8th through the 10th. So that one we will have plenty of time to plan for and get everybody the information they need in advance. And then my last announcement is last week we did Finish It Friday in my Facebook group. I posted a Zoom link and there was about 6 of us that joined at 6 o'clock Eastern on Friday night just to craft together and chit chat while we did it, and it was a lot of fun. And I will be posting a link after the live tonight for this Friday because they said they wanted to do it again. At least some of them did. Some have to work. And I think it's going to be an ongoing thing for whoever happens to be around and wants to craft and chat with other people. So there you go on that. I have a little bit of frog in my voice, so apologies if I have a little trouble talking tonight. With that in mind, let me put the camera down. Hello, Miss Carla. And Miss Sheila, I didn't see you come in. Welcome. All right. I'm just waiting for my camera to catch up to me. Okay, so I have a couple of swap items that I received from my team swap. The theme was to use anything in the mini or celebration. So this one comes from Sue in Massachusetts, and I love this design. She's got some embossing here. She's got a punch on dimensionals and some cutouts from the DSP and string and bling, and she's got it all going on here. And then on the inside, she's also got another extra balloon. So that is a really cute, fun one. do I need to, let me put the camera up a little bit. I think that will give us a better view. Just waiting for my video to catch up so I can see if I was right or not. Yeah, it looks like this will be better. And this one here is from Carol in New York. And this was a fun one that she did with one of the celebration stamps, I think. Wishing you a happy birthday, and it is a top fold. And I love how she's got the die cut leaves and the tree, really super cute. And the last one is from Cheryl. She is from New Hampshire, and she did a beautiful job with this. I love how she's got the embossing in the back, and then she used the perennial postage die here, and I don't know what stamp set that is, but it's got a nice watercolor feel to it, and I can see, I don't know if you can, but she used some Wink Stella on the sky as well, and the sun. So super cute. And then the other thing I have for show and tell is last week I did a one sheet wonder, and I wanted to show you that I used that to make up some cards. So I put together a sketch on Saturday and then made several cards using this sketch. So you may recall that we kind of did a cross down the center, both vertically and horizontally, and built out from there. And so there's a bit of white space in each of them. So this is the first one that I did. Well, actually, this was the first one I did. I was playing with the embellishments, and I thought that was super cute, but I didn't want to use that many embellishments on 4 different cards, so I only made one of these. So this is the actual sketch. Was a horizontal card with the focal point and a cardstock base over to the right. This one, because the way the one sheet wonder got cut, I decided that I wanted to make it a portrait one, and instead I used 2 of the flowers and a couple of little embellishments, and then back to a landscape, same basic idea with the 2 embellishments, the 2 flowers embellishments, and this one I added a little ribbon to, a little bow. So there you have it. I lost the volume. I just saw the comment about the volume. Hopefully, can you hear me now? I hope. So not a lot of show and tell this week, but that means that we just have more time to do some playing. And so our theme for our swap this month is birthday. And when Celebration and the mini catalog launched, I ordered a bunch of different paper packs and cut them into 6x6 sections and shared them with some of my friends that attended my virtual crop last month, or earlier this month, I should say. And so I had a set of 6x6, and I believe that I had 2 of each sheet. So there was a total of 12 sheets. And I wanted to be able to use them to make a bunch of cards for the swap. And so I was thinking about how can I do that efficiently. And I was successful in one area and learned a lesson in another one. So the first thing that I want to talk about is where I was successful. The centerpiece of DSP is 3x3. So with a 6x6 paper, you can very easily still having a problem with the volume. It might be because I have a sore throat. I'll try and project a little bit better. And maybe your volume on your computer or phone can be adjusted, I don't know. But anyways, back to this. The centerpiece of the DSP is 3x3, so you can get 4 of those from a 6x6 paper. The second place, I designed it so that the paper on these 2 strips would go side to side. If I had been thinking a little bit more clearly, I would have done it so it had a border. And the reason for that is because I have 6x6 paper, and this piece is 2 inches wide, and this is 2 1/4, which meant I only got 2 from each 6x6. Had I done it at with a 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, I could have cut them both at 2 inches wide, and then I could have gotten 3 sheets per 6x6, and had been able to make 12 of these cards. Unfortunately, I can only make 8, but that's okay. So lesson learned. So what are we going to use tonight? We've got the hexagon punch. We've got He's All That, which is in the annual catalog. We're going to use this stamp here, Happy Birthday to a Classic. I was originally thinking I was going to do Happy Father's Day, and then I went, oh, but the swap is for birthday, so I'm glad I caught that before I put them all together. I am going to be using Early Espresso ink, and then the paper is from the Celebration catalog, and it is called Trusty Toolbox. It was originally 12 by 12, but as I said, I cut them down into 6 by 6 and shared with some of my friends. So you can get this here free with a $50 order if you choose. There's lots of other things to choose from, so it's your choice, I guess is what I was trying to say. And we're going to use some dimensionals, and we're going to use some glue or adhesive of your choice. So let me put some of this back off to the side for a moment. And I almost knocked a whole bunch of stuff down. Pull in my trusty little paper cutter. So I am using crushed curry, and we need to cut some pieces for the mat. So the square is 3 by 3, so my mat is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So let me go ahead and do that. And I've already done a sheet of these, so we only need to do one sheet. It's 3 1/4. And another 3 1/4. I'm going to put this aside because I'm going to use it to punch the hexagons. So how has everybody been? I had an eventful Sunday. So I left my house for the first time in 2024, and I had been joking with my husband before I did so. And I went to go get an eye exam at the mall about 20 minutes from here and pick out my glasses because I broke my glasses. So yay, Warby Parker, they are in the mall, they're open on the weekends, and so I went to go do that. Just cutting these at 3 1/4, going in the other direction. So I go in, I do my exam, the doctor was great. The people that were helping with the eyeglasses were really helpful. It was clean, it was quick, lovely. I go out to my car. Now, mind you, I think it was the coldest day of the winter so far, and it was in single digits here in the U.S. in Fahrenheit. Hello, Inike. I think I said it right, but if not, I apologize. I remember we went through this before, and my memory is not working for me tonight. I go out to my car, and it won't start. Now, my daughter has my car at school, so I'm driving my husband's Jeep, which means he's at home with no Jeep. So before I finish this story, I have a 6 by 6 paper here, and I'm just going to cut it at 3, and then cut each of the strips at 3 again to get my 3 by 3 squares. So anyways, go to the car, it doesn't start. I call my husband, he can't do anything because he's at home, but he tells me, hey, call the roadside assistance from Liberty Mutual, blah, blah, blah. I do that, and they tell me it's gonna be an hour and a half wait. I'm like, okay, well, now mind you, this was only after I fill in a form online, and because I'm sitting in a parking lot, it was gosh darn slow, and I had to restart it. Hello, Nicole from Australia. So anyways, I get that done. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going back into the mall, and I'm going to get something to eat because it's the middle of the day and I'm hungry. No sooner do I get my food and start eating that they go, okay, it's going to be 30 minutes. Okay, great. And I literally just finished eating, and they're like, I'm here. So they drop my car off, and then I have to call for an Uber to get a ride home because there's no way for my husband to come and get me. So what I've got here is 2 pieces of 6x6, and I'm going to cut them at 5.5. If you happen to be using directional paper and you care which way it goes, now is the time to pay attention to it. These are going to go side to side on a landscape card. So if you want your design to go a specific way, then this is the time to account for that. So cutting it at 5.5. And then I'm going to turn it 1/4 and cut them at 2. And then cut another slice at 2.25. And this is the part where I said if I had been thinking, I would have done these each at 2 inches so I could get 3 from each paper, and I would have cut them at 5.25 instead of 5.5. But I didn't do that, so please learn from my lesson. So yeah, then we get an Uber to come home. So that was fun. That was my Sunday. And that is why there was very little stamping done on Sunday. All right, so that is the cutting. As I said, I did do a whole bunch of prep in the beginning before I came live. The next thing we're going to do is to use this piece that is left over and cut out some hexagons. And it is just big enough to do that. Thank goodness there was a blanket in the back of the car. My husband was well prepared for me to have a car breakdown. All right, so I have all my pieces prepped, and this is where it gets really easy. So we have the squares that I just cut, plus some more. Pardon me while I get my stuff all organized here. And I have extras because, like I said, I was planning on 12, but I didn't cut my paper in such a way that 12 was going to work very well. And then I have strips here. Oh, what did I just do with the ones I just cut? I don't see them. They shouldn't be that hard to find on this desk. Literally, what did I just do with them? I was too busy yapping. My teachers used to tell me the same thing when I was in school. Nice girl, but she talks too much. Oh, they're right on top, silly girl. All right, I actually have enough here to do 8 cards, but you're gonna see when we get to this part that some of the paper is really busy, so I took the opportunity with the 2 extra sheets that I had to cut these because they have a nice kind of neutral on the back. So let's do the stamping next. I'm using Early Espresso, and I've already stamped 1. So I need to do 7 more. Oh, and try not to stick my finger in the ink next time. It goes without fail, right? It's okay. I'm going to wipe that off, and then we're going to flip it over and use the back side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have a couple extras there. All right, simple stamping. We're just doing 1 stamp in the middle of this baby. Hopefully I can do this far away from it. That is not straight. So tell me what's every, oh, 57 today, that's awesome. Where are you, Sheila? I would love 57 right about now. Might be cold for where you are, but here, downright balmy. It's funny how your perspective changes. Like at the end of the summer, 57 is really cold. In the middle of the winter, 57 is awesome. I feel like there was something I was going to say, but darned if I know what it was. You're having a heat wave of 44. I'll take it. I will take it. It's raining out now. It's been rainy, drizzly day most of the day. But in the last hour or so, it really started raining. Not just drizzling. All right, so the stamping is done. And now we're going to do some assembly line. And so I'm going to start just by putting these on the cardstock. How many of you do swaps or mass-produced cards? I like when I can design something where I can make efficient use of the paper and not have a bunch of little scraps left over. I don't have too many this time around, and we can use them to decorate the inside of the card. That is not straight. But if I did them at 2 inches, I would have no waste at all. So there's that. So I use the one with all the color in the design as my focal point, because then all the other papers in the pack should go with it, right? So that's why I chose to use this busy, colorful one as the focal point, because it will go with all the other papers. I hate when I just design something sometimes and then go, oh, I want to make a bunch more, and then realize I've designed something that's going to leave me with a bunch of scraps. I call it scrap paper scrapping math, or card making math. So my cousins came over the other day on Saturday before the fiasco on Sunday. And they drove down, it's a little over an hour from their house to here, and spent the day, and we talked and we laughed and we ate. And my my cousin made this thing called the Toll House Pie, which I'd never had before, which was really good. Your January thaw, it was really good. It was decadent. All right, so I should have 7 of these because one is already made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and we have 7 of these guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the embellishments on because it's easier before the pop dots, the dimensionals. And then we played Scrabble, which was a real treat for me because I love playing. But my husband doesn't sit at the kitchen table anymore because it doesn't do well for his back. And so I have nobody to play with anymore. My kids are out and my husband can't sit at the table. So we played a lovely game of Scrabble. They have some interesting house rules that they use. But I knew that they did because their mom and my mom were best friends. That's how my parents met, was through my aunt. And they lived near each other down in Florida and would play all the time. And I had heard about these house rules. So one of their rules is if you play a blank, then somebody else, like say you played a blank and it was the letter S. If you have an S in your tray, you can pick up the blank and replace it with the S. I was like, that's pretty cool. Get to use that blank a little bit more often. I don't think that's not even close. And then the other house rule, which I didn't know about, was if you have 2 U's in your tray, you're allowed to throw one back in and grab another tile. I'm like, all right. As long as we know what the rules are up front, we can play by them. All right, so we've stamped, we put our embellishment on, and let me grab my white cardstock. I try to always have some cut and scored. So I just need to fold. Any other Scrabble players out here? Heat wave of 39 in Detroit. Well, my husband said it's supposed to warm up here, but it's going to be with rain. I'm like, that's fine. Let's just get warm. That's 2. Throwing stuff around here. I meant to do this beforehand because this is going to be like watching paint dry, but luckily there's only 7. I'm going to still have to make 4 more cards after this for my swap. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 more. And then we'll put them together. So I would say that probably spent about 10 minutes prepping beforehand, if you want to get an idea of how long something like this takes. And of course I'm yapping away, so there's that too. All right, so I want to grab these. I had originally put them together in pairs, I thought. So, like I had these two paired together. But I now have some of these other pieces that we can use as well. All right, I thought I was all organized. Here, let's do some planning here. These are the new ones I just cut. Okay. So I had this with this. That was the first card. And I think I want to do this with this. We can also do one like this. Put those two together. And then those two together. And then I still have a few more pieces left. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to do one more combination. Maybe, I don't know what to do with the last combination. Something might have to get mixed up a little bit. That's too bright. That's boring. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hi, Cindy. Everett, Washington. All right, maybe I'll do, what do you think of this combination? Is that boring? We'll do that. All right, let me get these out of the way and then we'll assemble. Super quick and easy assembly. This here was actually the hardest part, was coming up with what papers went with what. I'm going to use this side. And the assembly is really quite easy. One. So what's everybody up to these days? Any fun stuff going on? So we got the 2 strips there. And this guy goes in the middle. And somewhere I have my dimensionals. Now you could do all the layers and then come back and do this, but I figure I'll do one of these and then maybe do a couple more while we're chatting. And maybe finish some offline. right, and then this guy goes in the middle of this. And there you have it. That's what the card looks like. And we'll get different looks because of the different layers. So, new kitchen, that is fun. What color is your kitchen going to be? We did my kitchen over several years ago, and my husband and I did it. Other than the counters, we had somebody come in and do those. But my husband is quite handy with stuff like that. And so I just followed the directions, like do this, do that. And we did the demo, and we did the installation of the cabinets and the backsplash, painting, and the floor. Though I will tell you, we did a tile floor, and that is the most backbreaking work I have ever done, and we did a horrible job. And we ended up pulling it up a couple years later and putting in a like a vinyl tile, and it was so much easier to do and looked so much better. Though I loved the tile we had picked out, but it was a ceramic tile, and we had problem putting in the grout. And anytime you drop something, you would put a chip into the tile, and still had young kids at the time and adults that don't always hold on to everything properly. So it was an issue. Kitchen is white with nearly black counters and black grips and faucet. Oh, candles? Is that what you mean by grips? Sounds lovely. Ours is, the cabinetry is gray, like a very light gray. And silver with the handles. And then the paint is black on the wall. Not black, I'm sorry. The paint on the walls is a blue, almost like boho blue, if you know the colors from Stampin' Up. I would say that's probably the closest. And then a multicolored backsplash. I quite like it. And one of my favorite parts is we took out some of these freestanding like butcher block counters. They were freestanding with wheels and you could move them around. We had one that was open and one that had like closed shelves. And they weren't the same height, they weren't the same depth, and so it was not a lot of fun. And we replaced it with cabinetry and countertop, and it's so much more functional. Just using up the edges of my dimensionals here, because we don't want to waste them. A cork floor. That sounds nice. All right, I can stay and do this if you'd like to, or I can flip the camera up because you kind of know where I'm going. Anything else anybody wants to talk about while I'm doing it? Are we ready for winter to be over? I know I am. Before the end of January, I'm already ready. And honestly, until about 2 weeks ago, it was a pretty mild winter, right? At least here in the Northeast. All right, I'm gonna flip this up. Got a few more to do, but they will go rather quickly. Nothing new and interesting to show you, so I figured I'd just flip the camera up and say hi again. and I'll post them when they are done. It's warm and soft. Oh, the cork. I had to look over there because I saw it pop up on the screen here, but it looked like all the typing was on top of each other. So thank you so much for joining me. If you liked what I had to share, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, because that will tell YouTube that you like what you saw and that you'd like to see more of it. So I appreciate you being here with me, and I will talk to you next week. I hope you all have a great week. Thanks. Bye.